Hey everybody, and welcome to my review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Snap and Switch set Pizza Parlor with Mikey. This is an officially licensed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set that comes with 80 pieces and is recommended for ages 6 and up. We're going to start by taking a look at the minifigure that comes in this set, which is the Ninja Turtle called Michelangelo. And I've got to say I'm actually rather impressed with this minifigure. I like the frontal shell printing on his chest there and how it lines up with his legs. The belt with an M on it is a nice touch, and you can see he's got some printed leg wrappings that wrap all the way around his legs. Michelangelo even has a little printed detail on his arm there, which is something I didn't expect to see. Another thing that I'm actually rather impressed with is the shell. For a $5 set, this is something that I would expect to be printed onto the back of the minifigure, but it actually has its own mold and fits onto the minifigure well. And you can see that the leg wrappings are even printed on the back of the minifigure's legs. As we start to make our way back to the front of the figure, you can see that same printed piece on the other arm here. And I also think that the head mold they decided to use is pretty decent as well. If we remove Michelangelo's shell and spin him around, you can see there is no printed detail underneath the shell, which is to be expected. But overall, I am rather impressed with this minifigure. I don't think it's bad at all. The only thing I wish Michelangelo came with was his nunchuck weapons. They are nowhere to be found. With the minifigure out of the way, we're now going to talk about the actual pizza parlor itself, which is a rather simple and straightforward build, but for $5, I actually think it's got some pretty good qualities to it. If we take a look at the left side of the parlor, you're going to find a rather simple counter build that comes with a rolling pin, pizza, and some kind of bottle. In the middle of the parlor is a brick-built pizza oven, which again is rather simple in design, but it gets the job done, and you can see a pizza peel clipped to the side there. All of the detail that you've seen on the walls of the pizza parlor are stickers, as this set doesn't include any printed pieces. When placing the stickers on the set, I tried to copy the design that's displayed on the front of the box, but the sticker sheet that is included in the set does come with a couple of extra stickers. There's no indication on where they should go, so I guess it's up to creative freedom on where you think they would fit best. If we take the pizza parlor and spin it to the side here, you can also see that there's a counter that sticks out of the side of the build. And if we continue to spin the parlor, you can also see that there's this little knob sticking out of the back. And when looking at the knob from a different angle, you can see that it's directly behind the pizza oven. You can place the pizzas inside the oven, and when you push the knob down, it causes the pizzas to fly out. Just make sure you move Michelangelo out of the way first. I got this set for $5 at the store 5 below, and I absolutely think it is worth that price. You're going to get a pretty detailed minifigure and a simple but charming pizza parlor build. I want to thank you so much for watching my review, and if you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel for more brick-built content and reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to my review of the Snap and Switch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, Cheapskate with Raph. This set comes with 113 pieces and is recommended for ages 6 and up. We're going to start by taking a look at the minifigure that comes in the set, and this is the Ninja Turtle Raphael. And overall, I think this is a relatively solid looking minifigure. It's got some pretty good printed detail, such as the little R on the front of the turtle's sash. You can also see there's some printed leg wraps that wrap all the way around the minifigure's legs. There's also a little bit of arm printing as well. Making our way to the back of the figure, I do like the overall shaping of the mold of the turtle shell. I think it looks pretty good overall, and I like how the brown sash wraps around it. As we start to make our way back to the front of the figure, you can see it has that same arm print that was on the other arm, and I think now's a good time to mention I do like the overall head shape and mold for this minifigure as well. I think it looks rather solid. Overall, I'm quite impressed with the quality of this minifigure. We're going to take a minute and compare it to the Michelangelo minifigure, and these are pretty much the exact same minifigure. The only difference is the color of the headband around the turtle's head, as well as the printed letter on the turtle's sash and the color of the leg wraps. The one thing that is included in the set that wasn't in the Pizza Parlor with Mikey set are weapons. Raphael comes equipped with both of his side weapons, and I think they look relatively good and are well molded and constructed for what they're trying to represent. After seeing these, it does make me wish that the Pizza Parlor with Mikey set came with weapons as well. With the minifigure out of the way, we're now going to talk about the side build that comes in this set. It's a relatively simple build with the representation of a streetlight, sewer cover, and a fire hydrant. This build does come with a sticker. If I pick it up here and we take a look at the sewer cover, you can see that it has a sticker that says City Sewer, which is a nice little detail, and I think it looks rather good. I do wish, though, when I place this thing down, that it would actually sit flat on my table. This is primarily due to the poor quality of the build, and it does kind of warp it a little bit, and it looks rather cheap to me. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the streetlight that comes in this build, which is a very simple build, but I do think it's relatively effective for what it's trying to represent. And overall, I think it looks rather good, and I don't really have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is the condition of this piece here on my fire hydrant, which is really scratched up and it also has a chip in it. I'm very disappointed in the condition of this piece, and hopefully if you decide to pick up this set, you won't have this issue. As far as the design of the fire hydrant, it's very, very simple, and I don't really care for how it's pointed at the top. Now we're ready to talk about the main build of the set, which is the Cheapskate. And I think the name Cheapskate fits this build perfectly because it is rather cheap and very, very disappointing. We're going to start by taking a look at the exhaust pipes that are on each side of the skate. You can see they have stickers, and one thing that Snap and Switch does that I cannot stand is they place these stickers on rounded surfaces. This is the third set I've bought from Snap and Switch that has this issue, and while the stickers will be placed down temporarily, eventually they're going to pop back up again. And I think it looks rather terrible, and these really should be printed pieces. The weird thing about these exhaust pipes is both of my rod pieces that connected to the actual skate are completely different lengths. You can see the one at the top of the screen is a little bit longer than the one that's on the bottom. This is very interesting to me, and I'm curious that if somebody else bought this set, if they would have a similar issue or if it's just a problem with mine. On top of the skate, there is a sticker that has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on it. It's a nice looking sticker and a good detail to the skate. On the back of the skate, there is a gray propeller that actually spins relatively well, and I think it feels relatively sturdy. The skate is on wheels, but as you can see as I push it across my table, the wheels don't move very well and sometimes they get stuck. I definitely wish this would have been incorporated a little bit better and it was smoother to push across a tabletop. There's a couple of studs on top of the skate that you can use to attach Raphael securely to the skate. You do have to be careful, however, because the connection in the middle of the skate is relatively weak and it can snap in half. There's also this yellow cannon on the front of the skate that unfortunately doesn't have any play features, it's purely there for aesthetic reasons, which to me is rather disappointing personally. The last thing to mention is that there's this little chain on the side of the skate that you can attach to Raphael's hand, and I have no idea what this is meant to represent. I assume it's maybe a way to start the propeller on the back of the skate, but I'm not real sure. I got this set for $5 at the store 5 below. And besides the minifigure, I don't really think anything else in this set is worth much. And for that reason, I don't think this set is worth the $5. Let me know what you think of this set in the comments below, and thank you for watching my review. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more brick-built reviews. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Snap and Switch set review here on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at two different Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sets. They are called the Leo's Half Pipe and Donnie's Lab, and I picked them both up for $5 at the store 5 below. And what really brought my attention to these sets is an advertisement on the front of the box that says you can combine them to make the ultimate lair. So I thought why not pick them up and decide if this really is the ultimate lair for our favorite turtle friends. And we're going to kick things off by taking a look at the set called Leo's Half Pipe. The minifigure that comes in this set is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle called Leonardo. And for a knockoff Lego minifigure, I actually think these figures are pretty well detailed for what they are. My favorite parts about these figures are the chest print and how the sash wrapped around the turtle's waist has the first letter of their name. You can also see that there's some printed leg wraps wrapped around the legs of the turtle that go all the way around the leg. And as we make our way around to the side of the turtle, you can see that there's also some printing on the arm. I do like the piece that they use for the shell. I think it looks rather good and matches the overall aesthetic of the figure. And I do think with the overall look and design of these figures, I think there's an argument to be made if these figures are worth the $5 itself. You'll have to let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below, and consider subscribing to my channel as I'm closing in on 3,000 subscribers, and it would be a really cool goal to hit. Leonardo also comes equipped with both of his katanas, which is a really nice accessory for this figure to have and makes it feel overall complete. And lastly, I do like the shape and design of the head mold for these figures. I think they look rather solid. With the figure out of the way, we're now ready to talk about the small build that comes in this set, the actual half pipe itself. And for a $5 set, I do feel like this is in line with what you'd expect from a Lego poly bag. It does come with a couple of stickers for detail, like the blue skateboard above the green pipe on the right, as well as the stickers on the half pipe itself. And I really like this sticker here on the half pipe that says Shell Skater. I think it's a cool touch. One of the things that I found very interesting about these sets is that the backgrounds are actually cardboard, which I think is a very interesting technique, but I do think it works for both of these builds relatively well. And you can slide the cardboard backgrounds easily into the back of the set thanks to these two pieces here that have some slits in them. It's a rather simple process, but I do think that once the background is in place, it fits right in, and I do like its overall design, and I think it's an interesting technique to get this done. There's also a small ledge area on the top floor of the build that you can place Leonardo on. And lastly, Leonardo also comes with a blue skateboard as an accessory. With Leo's half pipe out of the way, we're now ready to move on to the second set that we're going to be taking a look at. This is Donnie's Lab. We're going to start with the figure that's included in this set, and this is the Ninja Turtle Donatello. And this figure is very similar to the Leonardo figure we just took a look at. Really, the only difference is that this figure has some purple printing instead of blue, and the chest print has a D on its sash instead of an L. Which I don't necessarily mind because, like I said, I think these are great looking figures. But if I have to be picky, I do think it would have been nice for the turtles to have different head molds just to give them a little bit more expressiveness and personality. And lastly, Donatello also comes with his bow staff weapon as an accessory. With the figure out of the way, we're now going to talk about the lab build that is included in this set. Which when you break it down, it really is just a mirrored build of Leo's half pipe. But there are a couple of things that make it different, like the pizza stickers on the floor there and the chair and monitors in the back. Here's a closer look at the brick-built monitors that are in the back of the set. I really like the sticker on the left here that says Party in the Sewer. This set also comes with a cardboard background that has a couple of monitors and some electronic detail. And you can attach it to the set in the same way we did with Leo's half pipe. There's also a sticker on the outside of the set that gives it a little bit of brick detail. Alright, now let's talk about this combination feature, and while unsurprising, it is disappointing that there are no extra pieces included to actually combine these two sets. They expect you literally just to push them together. Which isn't necessarily too big of a deal because you probably have an extra Lego piece or two laying around that you can use to easily combine these sets like I do here. But I really don't think I'm asking too much for them to include an extra piece to be able to make this function happen. And once you have a way to actually put the two sets together, I think it looks rather good overall and can make for an okay display piece featuring all 4 turtles. Like I said at the start of this video, I bought each of these sets for $5 at the store 5 below, so in total I paid $10 for what you see here. And when comparing it to 2 Lego polybags, I actually think it's a pretty decent value. There's nothing really crazy or special about the builds, but I do think they were fun to put together and I think kids would have fun playing with them. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more reviews.